Okay,
Scott,
I hear.
Waters,
Here.
Moore,
Here.
O'Kane,
Here.
Shaner. Here.
Stand for a moment of silent prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to go to Kosovo Sister City Committee. Steve Warnstead. General, come on up. Glad you finally applied for this. You spent some time there, haven't you?
Thank you.
So 1 year in Kosovo, yes. I've been to Gilan myself, so I wanted to make sure that others had the opportunity. I'm not one to take it away from others. So,
Well, we appreciate you applying. Go ahead and tell us why you want to serve.
well, having served over in Kosovo for a year, I've been involved with both the Sister State Committee and the Sister. I haven't really been involved with Sister City, but I have been to Gilan. Want to make sure that we strengthen the relationship between the people of Iowa and the people of Kosovo. Sioux City can play a good role in that. I want to help participate and facilitate the development of that strengthening of the relationship and the strengthening of a burgeoning democracy in the Balkans and providing stability. I think letting them know that we actually care and want to see them succeed is a huge thing that they need, and we can present some solid examples for them to follow. So I want to help participate in that, and also want to make sure that I'm in a position to help engage with other people within the community so that this lasts longer than me and that we have this as a sustainable relationship long term.
How are things over there now? There was some shakiness going on for a while there, right?
There tends to be some shakiness every month or two, but the incident was particularly in the north. The U.S. National Security Council sent a pretty strong signal to the Serbian leadership. The Serbian leadership backed out. There's always been a bit of tension that occurs in the region, but that's, again, one of the strong reasons why we need to have a strong, stable, supportive relationship in places like Gilan to demonstrate that people can get along, that we'll get better engagement, better economic development, better security and stability for everyone when we have strengthening relationships between people of different cultures.
Good. Questions?
Steve, I just want to thank you for when we meet with the representatives from our sister city, what a big help you are with the history of what's taken place with dates and just all that goes on. You do an excellent job of briefing people, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. That's kind.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Planning and Zoning Board of Adjustment, Cheryl Reynolds. Tell us a little bit about why you want to serve.
Well, I am a retired city employee. I retired last December with over 40 years of working experience for the city. The last 30 years, I was in the real estate division for the community development department. I've worked probably over the 40 years with every, if not the majority of departments and divisions in the city. Worked on acquiring real estate for the city, fee title, temporary construction easements. Also worked closely with our planning division on the sale of vacated rights of way, drafting legal descriptions, proofing legal descriptions. I am proud of the work that I did, seeing the improvements. Construction is never easy for the residents, but to see that finished product is well worth the disruption. After 40 years, it's kind of in my blood. I have a hard time walking away. I think we have a duty at times to give back to the organization that provided very well for my family and me over 40 years. I have the time to give. I think the knowledge and experience I could bring to the commission would be an asset.
Questions?
Beautifully put, so appreciate your application.
Thank you.
And we need a lady, right? If I remember right. Good.
Thank you for your time and
Thank you, Cheryl.
consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
We'll go to consent agenda items 3 through 11E. Consider them to pass unanimously unless a separate roll call vote's asked for by a council member. If you want to speak on an item, please come up as I read that number. If you want to speak on an item not under the On the agenda, please come up under citizen concerns and always remember to give your name and address for the record. I'll move the consent agenda.
Second.
3 is a reading of the city council minutes of October 2nd and 4th, 2023. 4 is a motion authorizing the city staff to enter into negotiation with the Explorers Baseball Club to formulate a lease agreement for Lewis and Clark Park. I'd like to say just a few things. Facebook is not the fairest provider of facts. Explorers had a 10-year lease. They knew they had a 10-year lease. The lease is up every 10 years. We renegotiate every 10 years. We're not picking on the Explorers. Hockey and the Bandits don't have a lease. They have to negotiate every year because they don't have exclusive use of the facility like the Explorers. There's nothing wrong with anything I'm saying. It's just the reality is we're here because the lease is up, not because we're making any demands on the X's. And you know, whenever you have an agenda like the item like this, the perception is that the council should let everybody know on Facebook how they're going to vote. Well, that's not the case because you don't make a decision who you're voting for until you at least see the proposals from the other parties and what they are. So we're here today because the Explorers have, according to your committee, which we ran it through a couple, have the best proposal, and that's the way the process should work. So thank you for your efforts and thank you for your bid.
No, well, Mayor, I wanted to say a few things too. First and foremost, Matt, I really appreciate your leadership, as well as the time and effort of the committee to go through this entire process. I know there was a lot of attention given to it and a lot of pressure. I know we feel up here a lot of pressure to make these decisions, but I understand in those situations too, asking citizens, you know, that have a vested interest in seeing the success of the city have to make hard decisions too. And I'm excited about the decision that they reached. I think that I'm looking forward to continuing X's baseball. I think that especially lately, that under this leadership, Mongo, I think you're doing a heck of a job down there and really appreciate your efforts. I'm excited about the baseball that's being played, but I did want to offer some feedback and some ideas to the committee that's going to go through this negotiation process, because I think, and city staff knows this, every time we have a joint meeting or we go through some of these discussions, I offer some praise for working hard, and I think that you all down there are working extraordinarily hard and the team's playing good ball. But I do think that there are opportunities to improve and things that we should think about moving forward. And so what I was talking with staff a little bit, and I gave Matt a heads up of some of my thoughts, but I know originally we're looking at a 12-year lease for what this is. And in my proposal, my personal feelings is I think that if a shorter period of time to see that growth, I feel in my mind that would maybe be more appropriate just to watch some of those steps. And I would think that a 5-year, nothing short of that, because sometimes change takes time. But I would be really interested in a 5-year proposal. And then there are 3 different measurements that I really see that Explorers could maybe, and what we could do better as partnering with each other and just really leaning into as a team and as a management staff. And some of those things were brought about by the competition, the people, and I think some of them are fair, but we can always look to improve. The first one would be attendance. Second is community engagement. And third is capital improvements. And what I mean by that is I would love if your team and city staff, we can work together to monitor those 3 variables over that 5-year. And if we see marked improvement, which I think we will, I'm confident we will, especially with the level of ball you were playing, I would have an appetite for an extending contract longer than that term. I just think that having those 5 years would give you the opportunity to really work on those different areas. I think our attendance has been lower than it should be for the level that we're playing, and we need to be creative in thinking of how we're going to increase that. Community engagement, I know you do a number of efforts. You outlined some of them in your proposal currently as about how you do cost sharing and different things with the concessions, but I think there could be a little more outreach. I think there are not enough people that know about the baseball that's going on or bringing new people and new faces into those stands. And I think that those will work together to increase those demographics. And the last one is capital improvements. I think the city has done an incredible job investing in that facility. In just about 10 years, we've invested over $7 million into that facility. And I would really like to see the management group and this new contract focus on not how they can reach that same level, but what are the different capital improvements that can be made on your end to improve consumer experience, really in that fan base experience. I think that the Baseball Foundation and some of the other people you're working with have ideas, and I would like to see some of those come to fruition so that everyone can enjoy things out there and have something new and exciting to look forward to every time they come back. So that's kind of what after thinking long and hard about this and reading through the proposals, some of the thoughts that I had. And whether it all works out in negotiations or not, I'm gonna trust the committee just as we've trusted them up to this process. But that was the feedback that I just wanted to offer staff that I thought might be mutually beneficial. So again, just thank the committee, but thank you also for your proposal and the great baseball you're playing.
I have a couple of comments to follow up on. I appreciate the mayor clarifying the fact that this is a process that legally we need to go through and complete. So thank you for making that clarification. I also want to thank the people that sent emails to me in support of the Explorers and how excited they are and how positive those comments were. It was really refreshing to see that. And then thirdly, I just want to thank the news media, the sports reporters in particular that do such a fine job of reporting on the games that the Explorers play. They really do super coverage, and that I think that helps the team, that helps the community, and it gets the word out that we really do have some really good baseball here in Sioux City. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to the next item. 5 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase general liability and excess liability insurance. 6 is a resolution amending the transit system payroll complement by adding 1 transit mechanic position and eliminating the transit maintenance service worker position. 7 are actions relating to grants. A is a resolution approving a grant agreement from Homeland Security and Emergency Management for the FY23 Homeland Security Grant Program. B is a resolution authorizing the Assistant City Manager to submit an airport terminal grant application to the FAA to fund 2024 Airport Terminal Improvement Project. 8 is actions relating to agreements and contracts. A is a resolution approving the FY 2023 cooperative agreement from HUD for processing housing discrimination complaints by the Human Rights Commission. B is a resolution approving an amendment to the FY 2023 cooperative agreement for HUD for partnership funds for fair housing, education, outreach, and community partnership activities with the Human Rights Commission. 9 is purchasing. A is a resolution awarding a purchase order to AgriVision Equipment for the purchase of 1 20-foot batwing mower. B is a resolution awarding a purchase order to Nutrient Ag Solutions for the purchase of urea for the Sioux Gateway Airport.
Mayor,
Yes.
I just want to make a comment on that. My agricultural eye saw that $700 a ton, and I thought that seemed high, so I did follow up on it. And that $700 per ton, it is a little higher, but it's because they deliver it every time we need it. We don't have to transport it, and they're also providing a couple of augers and some equipment so that it can be handled, so we don't have to buy our own. So that's included in the $700. I don't know if anybody follows any of those fertilizer prices, but I do a little bit.
$700 a ton is a lot for fertilizer, but
It is, but fertilizer prices are through the roof right now.
I heard they came down quite a bit.
No.
Farmer's wife's always looking for a little sympathy, but 10 are applications for beer and liquor license, 11's board commission and committee minutes. Anyone else to be heard on any of these items?
We're back on 10A1, subparagraph B. Soho, I'm going to abstain on that one for conflict of interest.
Passes 5-0. 12 is a hearing resolution approving a conduit space master lease agreement with Metro Fiber Net for the right to use and occupy portions of conduit, interduct, manholes, and handholds in various locations throughout the city. I'll move that.
Second.
Public hearing's now open. Anyone to be heard on those items, on this item?
Is there anybody from MetroNet around?
From who? Metro?
Net. I figured there wouldn't be for this.
Well, we get a lot of complaints about the subcontractors that they've hired.
This is different.
Okay.
This is, they're actually renting from us, so they won't be tearing streets up.
Oh, they're going to use our conduit, not tear up anybody's
Yeah,
lawns?
you know, the one that Bob said we'd never be able to rent stuff.
Right, right, but are they also going to be laying some conduit for this, or just strictly using ours for this on here?
Just using existing city
Okay.
conduit, and they have to fill out an application for each segment they wish to use. And
But
it
we will
goes,
be able to track it?
yes, and it goes to a fiber committee for the recommendation as to whether or not it's a good fit for that area.
Mayor, we've talked about that for quite a while.
Bob said that it hasn't been 10 years, but I think it has. But we got 12 grand last year that we wouldn't have had, so good job, Bob. Public hearing's now closed. Passes 5-0. Is an ordinance amending Chapter 25-02 entitled Zoning Districts and Land Use to allow medical facilities to conduct health screening, testing, and offer showers through a mobile shower unit in a parking lot owned by the medical facility. The petitioner, Siouxland Community Health. First consideration was approved October 2nd, 2023. I'll move second reading.
Second.
Anyone to be heard? Seeing none, we can vote.
No. Try one more time. Thank you.
Passes 5-0. Is anybody opposed to waiving the statutory rule?
No.
Move that.
Second.
Waters,
Aye.
Moore,
Aye.
O'Kane,
Aye.
Shaner,
Aye.
Scott.
Aye. I'll move third reading.
Second.
Moore,
Aye.
O'Kane,
Aye.
Shaner,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Waters.
Aye.
14 is a resolution authorizing the work and authorizing final payment to W.A. Klinger for the construction of the Chris Larson Park Riverfront Development Project. I'll move that.
Second.
All the grass is now grass, Matt? Or are they going to resod in the spring, or what are we doing?
Matt Salvatore, Parks and Recreation Director. So there's sections of the grass that are still under warranty. They're warranty items, not closeout items. So we are working with Klinger to do some more sodding and irrigation, looking for funding sources for that to have more of a permanent solution in some of the areas that are struggling. But the seeding hasn't been accepted, but it's a warranty. The warranty period is started with the seeding.
Gotcha.
But are they reseeding now? Go ahead.
No, you.
They're on the hook for reseeding. They're on the hook for reseeding, but we're looking at doing sodding and irrigation in some of those areas as a part of phase 1. This is phase 2.
We think they should be seeding right now if you're going to seed, but
We think we're leaning towards doing the sodding and irrigation, not reseeding.
Oh, and
Because
just
the
get-
Some of the areas, not all the areas, some of the areas that are really struggling.
then we get credit for what we would have been seeding towards the sodding?
It's warranty items, so it's not really credit.
yeah, that's the problem. We're going to sod, and
There
because
should be
seed
some
didn't
credit.
grow, we get nothing. That's not the way it should be. They should give us a product that we paid for.
And they'll continue to seed until they get to that point. It's just the patience is running out on some of those areas, so this would be a quick fix.
Hopefully a better.
They're on the
yeah,
hook until it's satisfactory.
And take better hold and everything.
Yes.
It's like
Right.
that.
Oh, yes.
A
So it's just
couple-
whether or not we want to draw it out over more seasons or not.
Then they should give us a credit. I mean, it's that simple for me. Either you do the job the way it's supposed to be done, or we should get a credit.
I
Well,
can pass that along.
the goal is to have grass. I mean, so it's.
I
whether
understand
you
that,
keep
but if
going
I pay
through-
somebody to seed and it doesn't grow through no fault of mine, and I have to go back and sod, I'm expecting to get that.
But I thought they're covering the sod. When
No.
No.
No,
we
we're
have to
gonna-
fund
It'd
it.
be a change order as a part of phase 1.
Right.
Gotcha.
But what we're saying is what they would have spent on the seed.
Yeah, I can relay that.
Okay, can you check that one?
Yep.
Then maybe we can move forward with the sod and be done with it. Is it sod and irrigation you have to?
So the 3 areas that we've sodded and irrigated are looking
Looking
great.
great.
And we'd just like the rest of the project to look that way
Right, yep, I would,
immediately.
right, I agree.
Not sooner.
Right, exactly.
Matt, the one question and thought I had too, and I haven't been down extensively in that area yet, is the dog park still closed because of that? Or is
Yes.
that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
We've opened it intermittently and
And I've
it needs
explained,
to be
and I've
sodded and
explained it,
irrigated.
yeah, I've explained
Yeah.
it to people, and I don't know the cost of turf versus grass and sod, and we can talk about that offline sometime, but I just wondered about porous, different types of things that would maybe be helpful with that. Yeah, exactly, some artificial, whether that would be helpful or not, I don't know. But anyway, the other question that I had was, I did wonder about, and this might be more of a Kelly question, but as far as that, or even Brett or someone, but what I was wondering was about the timer of the sprinklers, because I've went down there a couple times and they're going early while it's still daylight and people are trying to play in different areas around. I didn't know if we could adjust that to be.
we can double check. It's supposed to be like 5 in the morning and 11 o'clock at night, but I'll double check that.
Yeah, because it's definitely been more like 8 PM when I've driven by.
Okay,
or
yeah, it
something.
needs to be later when the park is closed.
Yeah, because I would go by and on that great lawn kind of areas where we're going off and people are trying to play and I'm like, it's not gonna, yeah,
Yep, I agree.
thank you.
Not to beat the lawn topic to death, but in the dog park portion, are they overseeding that? Are they drilling it? Do you know?
Well, it depends on whether or not we move forward with the sod or not. But that's one area that's
Have they
potentially,
planted it already, though? And it didn't?
not since earlier this spring,
And was that overseeded or was it drilled? Do you know?
overseeded. Yep.
That drilling really works well in the fall if
Yep.
you don't sod that.
If you don't sod it, correct, I agree.
Cross drilling actually works even better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
Thanks, Matt.
Anyone else?
And I guess the only other thing I would say on that, Matt, is I sent Mr. Gleason a text saying as much, but I really do appreciate all the work that's been done out there by staff and by Klinger and things like that. I think that is something really to be proud of down there, of the work that they're doing, and something that I always enjoy showing off to people that are visiting town or coming back home for something. I always love being able to go down there and seeing the diversity and just the amount of people that are coming out to enjoy that. So kudos.
so many people down there all the time.
And I don't disagree with any of that, but I just have a hard time. If this is a sewer job, guess what? Gordon's not letting the guy off without charging him for something, back charging him. I know how it operates. And now we're going to approve this. We've lost all power of negotiation as to what that is. So I'm not voting for it until we have a defined amount of credit, because we paid for that seeding. It's not my fault the grass seed didn't grow. So I don't want the taxpayers to pay twice for the same thing. And even if you're getting it donated, if you get donated money, you can use it for another amenity in that park. I don't know how we hold some contractors around here to a higher standard than we hold others. That makes no sense to me, so. Sorry, Matt, no reflection on you.
Well, we could defer it for a week then, if you want to do that, Mayor. Couldn't we, Matt? Are you going to be having discussions?
Ultimately, we have leverage because Phase 1 is not closed out, and we're not planning on closing that out until everything has been addressed.
That was
So this
the
is just
Grass
Phase,
one.
Right.
this is just Phase 2.
Right, okay.
So I would agree with not doing Phase 1 right now, but Phase 2 can be up for discussion.
Thank you.
I voted wrong, I meant to vote no. Sorry. And just want you guys to remember, the next time Gordon brings one in and it says that he's gonna make the contractor to put sod down because the grass seed didn't grow, I want you to remember how we do things here. 15, the Downtown Partner Quarterly Update.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Reagan Cody, Executive Director of Downtown Partners in Sioux City. We appreciate being able to come to you guys every quarter and give you updates to make sure that our projects are aligned and also let you know what we've got going on. I've got two people with me here with me today, one of which you've met before. Becky's been with me. She is our event manager. We share her position with the Sioux City Farmers Market, so that's a wonderful companionship we've got with them. And then Tracy is here. She's our new business development coordinator. So she's been with us, what, a month? About a month now. So I'm making her really nervous by being up here and having to present with you, but so please take it easy on her. This is our board of directors currently. We unfortunately had some people moving in the last couple months. So our board of directors, our executive committee is fairly green, and maybe that's why I used the green color, but Stacy Anderson is our president right now. She runs the Expansion Center and runs Siouxland Magazine. She's been with the board for a year, so she stepped into that role. Thankful for her. And then Matt Rixner with Mercy One stepped in our vice president role, and Nicole Berner, brand new to the board as of July 1, is stepping into the treasurer role. So she's doing a great job, but she's also, all of them that are new on the board have actually been with Downtown Partners in some capacity on a community work group or working with us in some way, so they don't come onto the board completely brand new. We do have Jeff and I believe Angela's still here hanging out with us. So, and online we sent the link to the board members so that they could watch. Just a real quick recap. We are first into the budget. As you know, a July 1 start gives us just an idea of how our projects and things are portioned out in our budget. Most of our budget does go to projects, so I will update those and update you in a little bit on that. Operating is next at about 15% of our budget, and then business support and marketing we spend a lot of our time and efforts on, but not as much funding as some of the projects need. And so then events and then partnerships are below because we love partnerships. That's how we get a lot done. And Becky, I'm going to let her cover events.
Absolutely, Mayor, Council. So in the last couple of months, we've had a lot of events going on. So as you can see, July Jam up in the right-hand corner there, that was held on 4th Street. Really good turnout for that event. We've had the Downtown Live as well. That wrapped up in August, at the end of August. Some recent ones, Oktoberfest, Mardo held an event for that as well, and Jackson Street Brewing did as well. And then Alley Art was held the same weekend as Tailgate Party downtown, and those events, even though it rained, there was still a really good turnout for those events as well. So upcoming events that we have coming up, we have the Downtown for the holidays, which our holiday lighted parade is going to happen on Monday, November 20th at 6:15. It's going to run down 4th Street from Iowa Street all the way to Nebraska. We will end at the Sioux City Public Museum. We will have music, and we will light up the tree. So it should be a good time. Santa will arrive at the end of the parade on a horse-drawn carriage. So if you come on down, you'll get to see all the beautiful lighted parade entries. And speaking of entries, we will be rolling out the form here as soon as this week. We're still waiting to wrap up a few details for that, but that should be coming out as well. Some other items we have coming up, we have the Small Business Marketplace, which is a partnership between Iowa West Coast Initiative. That's going to happen on Saturday, November 25th, December 2nd, 9th, and 16th. And that's going to be located in the Davidson building. And those hours will be from 10 to 4, and you'll get a wide array of vendors, small shops coming in, so you can shop there for gifts. For Christmas, we have the holiday storefront decorating competition. That's going to be coming up as well. You can sign up to decorate a storefront, and then we vote on those. The community votes on those, and then we announce a winner in December. And then we have the small business bingo, which is a bingo with different businesses around town that you can shop at. When you visit, you can mark them off, and then you receive a prize if you get a bingo. And Tracy actually will be doing the small business bingo for us. So, Tracy?
Thanks, Becky. I actually have some information on Restaurant Week Lunch Edition. That was held August 22nd through the 26th. We had 18 different restaurants participate this year, where they all offered unique meals for $10 each. Our main engagement was from Facebook and Instagram, with the very first day of the event having the highest number of total engagements. Compared to last year at the same time, we saw engagement increase by almost 179%. And then for overall social media engagements from January through September, our biggest number in increased engagements was in July, primarily on Facebook and Instagram as well. Compared to last year at the same time, we saw a 67% increase in the number of engagements, as well as a 16% increase in the number of audience members. Downtown Partners also offers several ways to assist incoming and existing businesses in downtown Sioux City. One way, is with the storefront grant that we offer. It covers a portion of all costs to improve the overall aesthetics of your building. And that can cover anywhere from signage, outdoor dining and seating, safety and security that includes lighting and cameras, as well as aesthetic upgrades and sidewalk improvements. We also offer a rent relief program in partnership with property owners. We provide rent reduced by 50% for up to 6 months for new businesses in downtown Sioux City. And that's only been in existence since January. And we've been able to assist businesses with about $12,000 in reduced rent. We offer more information about that on our website, as well as other resources we offer. Reagan?
Great job, guys.
No doubt.
Yay, it's our first one. Just a couple updates real fast on projects, and one of which is a big one for us is the downtown lighting project. We've had this comprehensive plan in place since 2017. So we are now in phase 6 of 8 phases. So it's coming along piece by piece, but that's how you get things done. So the one that we just recently completed was, with your help, putting caps on the globes down 4th Street all the way from Iowa to Water Street. You can tell over here where this pink arrow is, it shows you what the capped one looks like. So the sidewalk look with the globes was very dark on the street level. On the sidewalk, you can see the people in front of you. And then now with the capped lights on there, it does have a really, really great effect on the sidewalks. We've had a lot of feedback, a lot of positive feedback, and that's always a sign of a good project when you get the good stuff and not the bad stuff on social media. So most of it has been a lot from our business owners who do have security cameras and things like that, saying their camera quality has increased substantially. They're able to identify people on the streets or if something is happening. And also from moviegoers. That's been the other one. When they've come out of the promenade and they're going back to their car, they're like, why is it so much brighter? So they've really responded well to this project, and we're glad, because that was the point. It was safety, it was the look. When you look down the street now, just the classy look of those capped globes really does look nice going down the street, and it doesn't take away from our architecture. So it does really look nice. More projects we have coming up. We did receive a MERD grant to help us pay for lights in the alley art area. This is the alley between 4th, 5th, Pierce, and Nebraska. That is going to get 16 new LED lights that are motion censored, and the brightness of those can be adjusted, so that when someone walks through the alley, day or night, that these motion lights would come on. We've also had some property owners in that area start adding cameras and lighting to their buildings. That alley needs some attention, and it needs some quick attention. We've locked the dumpsters in the areas that over by Trattoria and Alley Art, where we've had a lot of major problems. The city has been wonderful about going through for us every week to clean that up. Where they started getting frustrated is going, Reagan, we were just there at 3 a.m. Thursday night. This is what it looks like Friday morning at 8 o'clock. So we've really got to pay some attention to this alley and just kind of hitting it hard. So the lights are due in this month, and Thompson is on books to, as soon as they get in, try and get them up for us as soon as possible. So hopefully you'll see something in the next 30 to 60 days. Oh, I'll go back real fast. The other thing is outdoor music. This is one that not only creates an ambiance in downtown, but is something nice that we'd like to see from actually where the lights are, all the way from Iowa to Water. What we're dealing with is if you know music much at all, it's actually the line of sight between the speakers on what they're communicating with. So where we're going to start is going from Iowa to Jones Street. That is our clearest point of contact between where they're going to go. They will go on top of these light posts. They're small speaker systems that basically run from a laptop that we're going to have either at the convention center or at Downtown Partners office. We're working on everything, honestly. Power, what's the streaming service look like? As much as I would love to have touch tunes come in so you could play it from your phone, and then maybe the charge portion could go back to us for maintenance, or something like that. But getting creative with it, with the outdoor music, but really creating that ambiance that shouldn't provide any, there was a concern on, will the businesses hear it inside? Will residents upstairs hear it? What are the hours it's going to be on? This is such a low volume thing that we're talking about. It's really for those of you walking in between things that will just kind of hear the sense around you. So it's just creating the ambiance. Recycling, we've been working with ARA and Gill Hauling. We do have the 8 containers placed, so those should be going out for a press release here shortly. So that's finally, we've been working with property owners. This is an urban area. It's very dense. Trying to find a place where these trucks can get in and out of and the public can still access very easily has been difficult. And working with private property owners is where we've had to take some of this. So it's taken a little time getting them placed, but we are ready to go. And then the holidays, as Becky mentioned. So really, we just use this QR code a lot because that's usually where we get most of our engagement, is people wondering what's going on in downtown. So every week you can scan for events coming up and for the week ahead. Any question?
Perfect. How many recycling containers are going to be put out?
There will be 8 commercial containers. They were the ones that were out at Saturday in the Park. They were designed by a local artist and wrapped. Jessica Hammond is the one that did that. They're kind of a light blue color with like a lot of colors on them. It's got the city logo, Downtown Partners logo, and Gill. And the tops of them themselves are smaller entry points. So what we're going to do is give bags out, recycling bags, to all of our downtown residents and businesses who would like them, so that when you're going to dump your recycling, it's not blowing all over the place. They're actually in recyclable bags. So the container has a smaller opening on top for recycling material.
Oh, so the bags will fit into that?
Yes.
Oh, that's what we use in our office. So I've been
They're helpful.
taking them home every other night.
So do I.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have the bins down here.
I agree.
To
I
place
agree.
those in. Hopefully you made it within walking distance of U.S. Bank, maybe?
Actually, yeah, you should be good.
All right. All right. Thanks for that. I have a question also. The storefront and rent relief program that started the first of the year, which is an excellent program. Can you go back to your budget frame, please? I just want to see where that fits in. For the storefront.
For both of those, they're under business support.
Under business support?
Correct. Those are not projects. Projects are specifically for the larger projects, for lighting and green spaces and recycling. Things like that are under projects. So business support is under our rent relief and storefront grants.
Okay. And so marketing is in there. That's about equal to business support. And then events are the music?
Yep, events would be music. Events and partnerships. Partnerships is more of our voucher system where we give people visiting downtown or events that are happening downtown, we'll give them downtown cash to spend out in the community and out at our businesses. So when those businesses get them, they turn them back in and we reimburse the business. So that's really what partnerships, most of that money is spent on, is that partnership line item.
Okay.
And then events is usually a collaboration with the organizers. I think, Jeff being here, RE/MAX is a great example. The tailgate, we have kind of a 3-year plan at Downtown Partners with events. The first year, we work with an organization that we know is going to take it on, so it's not something we keep in-house, and it's got a 3-year lifespan for us. So the first year, we will fund the event. We will take care of most of everything needing the event. The second year, we reduce our funds by half, and the private entity takes over, or the nonprofit. And then the third year, we reduce our funding by half, and by the fourth year, we are financially no longer liable for the event.
Okay.
So we help promote. So that way we can keep adding new ones.
So for as long as I sat on your board, I'm just blank on it. Are your budgets every year? You look at the budget every year, or is it like a 2 or 3 year budget?
No, we look at it every year. We have to, because they're based on property assessments. So we have to get the number from the county in order to project our budget.
Sure. That
Yep.
makes sense. Okay. Thanks, Reagan.
You bet. Any other questions?
Yeah, so I received a lot of feedback regarding the lights, positive feedback about how they are more nature friendly, because apparently the lights that shine upward really mess with like animals that live downtown, especially birds that nest downtown and things like that, messes with their night cycle. So that was a good positive that I heard with regards to those. I also wanted to offer some praise for the rent relief and the storefront grants, because we continue to see those rise, and I feel like those have been really impactful. So it's great to see that the number of businesses that are getting to feel that impact is rising every time that we talk to you. So that's good to see too. The two things that I wanted to offer or just put out there, have we looked at any kind of incentive for businesses to house the recycling containers? Because I know the wrap was kind of, the intention behind the wrap was to make them look friendly and fun. And so I would hope that businesses would be like, yeah, I'd love to have this here. But that's just something that I wanted to put out there in case you do have trouble kind of like nailing down spots, any way that we can kind of incentivize them for doing it. Obviously, offering some kind of advertisement on the container would have been an option, not so much now that they've all been wrapped because we want them to be beautiful, but something to look at in case we have trouble nailing down some spots. I'm super excited for those though, because I've heard a lot of feedback with regards to that. The other thing with the music, I'm super excited about the music. And I don't know if it's possible or if you could do this, but I know you, and if anybody can figure it out, it's you. With the holidays coming up, if we're looking at like holiday music, how cool would it be to have those lights, the LED lights underneath the walkways programmed with something to go along with the music? I don't know.
Hey, we're a step ahead of you. We're thinking about it, trust me.
All over, I'm sure you are too. Well, thank you for everything all of you do.
Oh, absolutely. Any other questions?
Anything else? Thank you.
Great work, team.
Keep it up.
Citizen concerns. Any citizen would like to be heard? Seeing none. Matthew.
Just two quick things. So number one, vote. Tomorrow is the city primary, so get out and vote tomorrow. Voting is important. The second thing is, and this isn't going to solve anything, but it's been a very stressful past week on the west side especially. We've had a couple of big fights that broke out at Casey's. And you would think the first fight, as soon as you heard Casey's school fight, any of that, you'd think that it was due to the kids, and it wasn't. It was mostly adults that started that altercation. And it's really upsetting that after school, as schools are letting out, that adults in this community would choose to fight and use weapons to fight, let alone. As schools are getting out, I think that sets a terrible example for our students, and we owe them much better than that. I don't think it's any surprise that 2 days later there was another fight that broke out at Casey's. That one was led by students. I don't think anybody should have been surprised by that. It was modeled by adults' behavior, and then kids fought. Now, because of that, Casey's has requested that no students be allowed on their premises after school. And I just hope that the adults in our community can act more like adults and model some better behavior for our students, because they're always watching and listening. That's everything.
Thank you. Julie.
I agree with what Matthew said. We have to learn to get along. We have to learn to settle our differences in nonviolent ways. If you have problems, you need some mental health help to help solve them. It doesn't always have to be, that you're to your breaking point. It is pretty sad that that happens, and it happened 2 times in a row. Again, vote. The only thing on the ballot will be the city council until the school board comes up, so take that opportunity, get out, let your voice be heard with check in the box or the circle.
Alex?
I think I'm good. I think after homecoming, my brain is fried, so I'm just trying to get back to normal. But it was a pretty great time, and I'm glad that the weather cooperated this last weekend, and we brought a lot of people back to Sioux City, and I know a lot of people were excited to see the different changes. I heard a lot of great feedback, staying at our different hotels and going around town and all kinds of stuff. So, no, that's all I have, Mayor.
Dan?
Mayor and council, last Friday, some of us attended the fallen firefighters ceremony that was held in the afternoon here in the council chambers, and it was a very moving ceremony as we remembered those firefighters that we've lost in the line of duty, as well as their families who also sacrificed a lot. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Saturday, I attended the Rosecrans Jackson dinner. Mr. Moore was the organizer of that. He did a great job. The steaks were actually cooked the way you would like to eat them, so it was a nice evening. I'll move we adjourn.
Second.
O'Kane?
Aye.
Shaner?
Aye.
Scott? Waters.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
Wondering, did you cook them yourself?
You want to